It all of a sudden has gone totally backlit. But we are live. So now I need to get the link to everyone. Hopefully that's the share link. We're going to copy that. We're going to go over here and here and here and here. We are live. Woohoo! All right. So for all 7 people that have made it across, I'm not sure which angle is better.
That's funny.
What's that?
Which angle's better? Well, the angle where I cut my wife off of the frame?
No! We could both move under the tree, silly Willy.
Sure. Sure. How does it feel to be sitting on two?
Giving you a gratuitous Ruru shot.
Yeah, and my leg.
I'm going to be in trouble for that later, apparently.
And apparently you wanted to show them that I was cutting your hair right before.
You love doing that.
Doing what?
You love cutting my hair 10 seconds before a YouTube live.
I could do it right now, too.
Oh, go for it.
Oops. Just kidding.
All right. So she cuts my hair. She does a great job. It's a little bit wild before the talks, but she doesn't seem to notice it until about 2 seconds before an event, at which point she goes,
no, I noticed it all day long, but it doesn't occur to me to do something about it until like 10 minutes before we go live.
That's true. All right. So I was asking you a question before this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And what was that question?
Whether I was optimistic?
Yes.
Yeah. And the answer is yes.
Okay.
I am optimistic.
Okay.
Because what I've been asking for on a subconscious level is freedom.
Oh, tell me more.
Well, I've felt.
Why are you laughing?
Because I'm about to be brutally honest, and you're gonna be like, "Ouch!"
So you're laughing. Go. I'm about to be a Scorpio, and go.
Well, you asked.
Go for it. We can share.
So, when we got together, just over 10 years ago, and our 10-year anniversary, wedding anniversary is coming up in October.
10, 10, 20.
But we met 11 years ago. We started a business like within a few months of meeting each other.
Yes, you said that famous line. Something about we're going to make you very successful.
Yeah, but originally I thought we were going to be working in your business, but we ended up starting a business together. So anyway, when we started that business, it was kind of like putting handcuffs on.
I see where the laugh comes in now.
I mean,
no, you're right. You're right.
I've often asked.
You're right.
Were you happier before we got together?
And I said it was less complicated. It was a lot less complicated. I mean, until a month before I met you, I was off in the woods meditating a lot of the time. My finances, to be completely honest with everybody, were struggling. I was a very good coach, but I was actually really struggling. And so you came into the picture. Now, I had a near-death accident, so there was a reason for some of that struggling. You came into the picture and said, well, we can turn this all around. However, what that did is build, instead of a one-person half-booty mousetrap, shall we say, it became a two-person full-on mousetrap.
And I just want to pause because I realized just now, not everybody who's here now was at the start of the first attempted live stream. And so the reason why I am doing this Darth Vader thing is because there's a fire about 8 miles away as the crow flies, and so it's 30,000 acres. It seems to be under control. They've contained 14% of it. 30% now. Okay, great. I hadn't heard that. But there's still stuff burning, and there's a lot of smoke in the air. And I don't want to be putting myself into a category, but for the time being, in this moment, I am feeling like I'm part of the sensitive group to smoke. So I've got this mask, and this hose is attached to this HEPA air filter, and it's sending clean air through this tube into the mask. So
This is not a normal fashion statement for you.
no.
But what a miracle it is that we got that in just in the nick of time. There was a distant fire, distant being 100 miles, that actually blew smoke in. And the minute she got hit with smoke, her health went down. And I ordered that thing, and it arrived the day before this fire took off. So
Yeah.
that was a nice little miracle.
So thank you.
And thank you, universe. So
we were talking about
optimists during this time, and then you were ready to get out your and you were starting to say that 10 years ago you put on big bad handcuffs for us, and you're looking forward to freedom coming up. So maybe we can give the quick version of why the last 10 years, it's a miracle you've stayed, has felt like.
Well, so if anyone is an entrepreneur or has started a business, the first few years are they can be pretty rough. I mean, you could hire as many people as you want, but it's really hard to step out of the business until it's reached a certain level and it can kind of run itself. So it felt like we were slaves to our business for many, many years. Mm-hmm. And the first iteration of the business, when we were still on Maui, and that whole business revolved around running. Mm-hmm. First it was barefoot running, then it was mindful running. That one crashed and burned.
And to pause you for a moment, when things crash and burn, and particularly when you're trying hard in things and they crash and burn, it may be that they were supposed to crash and burn to allow you to build something else. In fact, our new logo is going to be what?
A rising phoenix.
And why a rising phoenix?
Well, it's kind of a long story.
Am I tangenting us too far, or is this on track? I think he wants on camera.
Maybe.
Okay. The 2-second version is things crash and burn so that something new can rise from the ashes. So barefoot running, crash and burned, mindful running, crash and burned. Take it from there on this journey of us being handcuffed to the business.
So we after we crashed and burned and came flying out of the flames. Actually, I was still sick, so I wasn't really quite soaring. Sick from mold. We started Inspire Nation, and some of our old patterns stayed with us. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't want to interrupt you because I can lose the flow. I lose your flow. So.
Well, you already did.
Okay. I just took a breath. My belief system was that we were launching a rocket. And to launch a rocket, I get to do what I do best, which is put my endurance skills, my intestinal fortitude, my motivation behind things to launch that rocket. Unfortunately, I didn't build the systems in place so that we could take advantage of being in orbit. And it is felt in many ways, you're saying, 4 or 5 years, that we are still launching that rocket.
Yes, and I think it's because when you've got something that you feel like is doing well or good enough, and you struggled a lot to get to the place where you're just good enough, you don't want to mess with it, because the good enough is like, it's like allowed you to have a sigh of relief, but then you kind of get stuck at the good enough level.
And I like to say comfort is the enemy of greatness.
So we got comfortable.
Exactly.
But it was this comfort in certain ways and very uncomfortable in other ways. You know what I mean?
Well, from a time commitment, we're still launching the rocket. From a, we're not over this tipping point for it. We couldn't seem to get to this magical tipping point that we can see, but it was always just out there. And I think it's because we've still been slightly out of alignment, trying to hold on to the old paradigm, which is what's been going on with everybody today.
And what is that old paradigm for us?
The old paradigm for us is literally two interviews, 2 books a week, a YouTube live a week, the regular coaching, the regular classes, and building an organization around that, which is awesome. But it means we haven't, for one thing, we are a completely mobile business. We could be anywhere in the world. When's the last time we took a trip together?
I can't remember. Well, when we moved, we moved together.
That was my thought too.
We moved from Maui to New Jersey, from New Jersey to North Carolina, from North Carolina to Colorado. Those are all trips.
Yes. We have not taken advantage of the mobility that we have.
Right.
We have said we have to upload here, we have to do this here, we have to do that there, as any good business does, and says, just like you're saying, this has worked for us. This is tried and true. No, I'm not staring at anything on the floor. I stare off into space a lot. But there's so much more that is capable for us, and there's so much more that is capable for you that we have not allowed ourselves to explore, because that would mean getting really uncomfortable, rocking the boat. And as you mentioned, I think even before the fires, or maybe it was after the fire started, it feels like if we do this, will everything fall apart, everything that we've built?
Mm-hmm.
And that is the challenge for all of us. I believe it all gets to fall apart, but not like you lose your safety net, not like all of a sudden you're going to be disintegrated into oblivion. Though to come back together, maybe that's not so bad. We don't lose the talents we have. We don't lose the skills. We don't lose the passion. We don't lose any of our abilities. What we do lose. So there was a fire 2 years ago when we got here that just kicked your butt, and it was on the mountain that you can see right behind us, and it came to 1.5 miles from the house, and that scared the heck out of us, as it should have. There's this fire which stopped a little over 8 miles from us, which scared the heck out of us. We live on this amazing piece of property that right now a UPS driver described it as, he feels like he could point a headlights at the bushes and it'd light on fire. It's so dry. And so the odds are exceptionally high. Sooner or later, after we come back, we're going to leave our dream home here or something better, because that's too much. You being stuck in this hose is too much. Us being concerned about this fire is too much. You having a dream with the fire rolling over the hills is too much. And to move means we've got to get rid of a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. Stuff in the garage, stuff in our lives, stuff in the basement of ourselves. Which that getting light process is, I believe, the shaking loose, the crumbling that we're all afraid of. It's that crumbling to get light we are all going through right now. And so I see that as a good thing. And so for ourselves, it means going on RV tour with some ideas of what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But does it seem like we have a really good idea of what we're doing?
No.
That's the right answer.
Well, we know we're going to do this, more
Yeah.
of this. This is new. Me being on camera is a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've shied away from it for years. And
ladies, if you ever thought, I need to fix myself up, or men for that matter, I need to fix myself up on camera, you are being really brave and bold with your...
I know. And it won't even stay centered on my face, because honestly, I don't know if my face is small or whatever, but I've got this knot here on this side. But I don't have a knot on this side because if I put a knot on this side, then it's too tight. So the freaking mask is lopsided. My shirt's lopsided. It won't stay upright. It's supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be kind of flowy, but it can't flow with this darn thing on it. So I'm just a mess.
And I am so damn proud of you.
I feel like crying. I don't even know why. I think just verbalizing that I feel like a mess is just touching on what's really going on. Because of the fire and the smoke and not having your brain, which on some level I get is like good for me because they say sometimes what you think are your greatest strengths are actually your weaknesses, and what you think are your weaknesses might be your greatest strengths. And I've definitely valued my brain a lot. And when I've learned this lesson multiple times about like tying my worth to my levels of productivity, and every time this happens where like my brain isn't all quite there, I can't be productive. And so it's like reminding me that's not what it's about. Like, you're not on this planet to be productive. At least not my whole purpose.
I don't think any of our whole purpose. I think if you finish the end of your life and you were just productive, well, I don't know. And I've never been like a Steve Jobs. He created some amazing things. But I want to back up to what you just said. And I think you're like my superhero brave here tonight. But you said our greatest strengths may be our greatest weaknesses. And I think I created a mousetrap out of my greatest strengths. Mm-hmm. And so now we're coming on board for that. I don't want to know what's going to happen. I don't want to have an exact plan, because I feel if I have an exact plan, I'm trying to remember my dream this morning. It was very prescient. It was very beautiful, about holding on too tight and not being allowed to hold on moving forward. It's like I get an automatic writing each and every time right now. You're not allowed, and I get this with all my coaching clients. You're not allowed to know. You're not allowed to know. You're not allowed to know. You're not allowed to know.
And why is that?
How would we get the lessons? If we knew everything coming, if we knew everything to do, then why don't we just sit back on the couch and watch our lives like a Netflix? Mm-hmm. What are we going to gain from that?
Well, I think also if we knew, we might declare that we didn't like something, mm-hmm. and we might try and steer the ship in another direction.
And that'd be pain. It's true. That's actually what's going on with everything around us, and feeling like we need to move is it has been really painful until I think you asked me a day or two ago about this. And I said, I'm okay. I'm completely detached now, or detaching. I said, I still feel for the animals, but I've let go. Mm-hmm. And what I'm getting out of automatic writing is that I get to let go at a deeper level than I've ever let go before. At which point you said something to the effect of, oh God, what's coming now? What is that? Automatic.
I mean, we've loved living here, but at the same time, this living here has really kicked our asses.
It's really kicked our asses.
I think you mentioned within just a couple months of moving here, there was that mountain right there was on fire.
Yep.
And that's less than a mile away.
Yep.
It started in July, and it was still smoldering like into the end of August.
So basically we got here, Jessica starts to get into superhero shape, and then the fires came up and you were locked in the house for 2 months. Not only that, you were locked in the house for 2 months with air filters that we didn't know had plastic over the air filters. All these people were returning them to Amazon going, they're not working. Nobody said to disassemble it and take the plastic off.
Nobody knew. Everybody was like, it's really loud when you put it on level 3. And it's because, and it was true, it sounded like a helicopter.
And it would kind of jumper and walk around the room because it'd be vibrating so much.
Because the HEPA air filter still had plastic around it.
And nobody knew. And
so we had 3 of these air filters going on all summer long, or July and August. And then we didn't find out until the next spring that it's because the filters had plastic on them. And we laughed about it. But oh my gosh, if you had told me at the time, I would have started crying.
Yeah. So we got our butt kicked, and you were getting in great shape, and then you got knocked down. And then you started to get back into shape a little bit. You got pregnant. We got pregnant. Woohoo! And then you miscarried.
And then that happened 2 more times.
And got knocked down, and then got going again, and got knocked down, and then got going again, and then got knocked down. And then you came back to life about a month ago, about a month after the miscarriage or so. And you're like, yeah, because you had this dream, yeah, let's do that. You do it better than me.
So let me just recap. In this dream, Michael and I are talking to a car salesman, and this car salesman is like on fire, and he's super excited we're going to buy this car. And he's like, this is effing awesome. You're going to love this car. And so I woke up with the attitude of this car salesman. And I was like that all day.
Which was pretty awesome. So she came to life, and then you're like, yeah, let's get in the greatest shape of our lives for this tour. We're going to run. We're going to hike. We're going to play. Yeah. Oh, and there was Mole last summer losing a dear pet. That was also part of this journey.
Well, we lost a lot. We attempt to rescue many animals, and sometimes they're happy stories, happy endings, and a lot of times there's not much we can do. So, yeah.
So we got the and now all of a sudden we've got the again. And one of the questions we have, and this is a question for you as well, is I don't believe in stuck. I believe we're continuously, as you said, going around the mountain. We're continuously learning, and there's a lot more energetically always going on beneath the surface than we can ever imagine. But with that said, there can be energetic imprints in our environment. I think Ruru might be a little overtired because he got up. No, he didn't get up that early today. It's about 20 minutes from his bedtime. But oftentimes, getting ourselves out of our current environment can help shift that energetic pattern. So we may have a pattern of, let's be honest, suffering here. And you, for many months, many times, would go to the bedroom where you laid tired, pregnant, and been pretty sad or freaked out in the bedroom again. And so go for it.
I think the point that I was trying to make was we probably could have, I don't like to use the word should, because, you can't change the past, but we could have moved sooner. And because we didn't, it's just a bit more discomfort that we got to experience.
But what if we had moved sooner and we were never felt like we were being kicked out to where we need to explore the open road? If we had gotten comfortable someplace else, would we really have said, I need out of here? Because we need out of here. We need out of here.
If we were in the same valley with the fire, probably.
So, I am seeing divine timing in this, where we could have I still get to work on my attachment.
Attachment to?
Well, in this case, attachment to our beautiful home. And attachment to our home means attachment to a dream. attachment to what I want to do with the land, how I want to work with the animals, which has been magnificent on many levels, but you could still feel very much out of alignment. And every time it feels close to being in alignment, the best description from the universe is fooda, 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 fooda. Oh, you're comfortable. Oh, you think for just one. Don't even. No, I get it. I really get it. Is that about summarize it?
Yeah.
So instead, now I am excited. I am excited because I don't know where we're going, relatively speaking. I have an idea mapped out, barring fires, of direction. I don't know what we're going to experience. I don't know what we're going to find. I don't know how we're going to set up the show. I know we're incredibly talented and people want to follow our story, but I have no idea of any of this stuff. None of it.
No. But you know without a doubt that this is what we're supposed to do.
I had an interview recently, an off-the-record interview with Dr. Dean Radin, Center for Noetic Sciences. And I asked him, and it's the leading parapsychology research organization in the world. It was started by, I believe it's Edgar Mitchell. I think he was the last astronaut to go to the moon. And so Dean Radin is one of the leading research in the world in parapsychology, a very real science with more statistical data to back it up than pharmaceuticals, for instance. It's crazy the amount of data backing up things like telepathy, for instance. But I asked him, what is a noetic experience? A noetic experience is knowing without knowing why. It is beyond just a gut feeling, beyond just an intuitive hit. It is an, oh my God, I need to do this. Yes, that was Ruru running to the edge of the deck and now running down the deck. Come back. Of which I may have to go chase down the Ruru in a minute. But how much do you know we need to go on the road?
With all of my heart.
How much do you know we can't do things the same way when we're on the road? Because it'd be really easy to book the shows, to book the clients, to book the classes, to book them Dano.
Mm-hmm.
And how much do you know we can't do that?
It actually feels painful to think about doing that, to continue the old pattern, to continue doing the same old. It actually makes me feel like I'm choking. And it's not because I'm wearing a mask.
Somebody just suggested something interesting. When there's not enough, when too much smoke, use hydrogen peroxide 3% as an extra oxygen by inhaling it atomized.
That's interesting.
I don't know how we atomize it, but that is interesting. Maybe in an inhaler. That's a noetic experience. That is a knowing beyond knowing, that you have to do something, and you have to do something a certain way.
And everything might continue to fall apart. I mean, it feels like everything's falling apart now. I think a lot of that is just the nervous system being heightened because of the smoke and my history of being sensitive to particulates in the air. So I do know that even though it feels like everything's falling apart, it's not actually all falling apart.
What if even the smoke, setting your nervous system on heightened alert, dumbing us both down, let's say that you've lost, I don't know.
I know, dumbing us down so that we can be more malleable.
Yes.
So we could be molded and shaped and pushed this way and that way, and we're just so out of it, like, okay, whatever.
And it's like tomorrow I'm supposed to take the car to the mechanics 40 minutes away to get it ready for the RV tour.
Yeah.
Or the mechanic could even come to us normally. But there's a fire and the highway was on fire.
It's been closed since August 10th.
So
about 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks.
So tomorrow I have, hopefully it's only a 3-hour drive each way.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to be stuck in this town. Something great's going to come out of it. My system doesn't want to do
I
it.
mean, how often do you get the opportunity to just do nothing, to just be besides your morning meditation?
Yep.
You know, we're, as much as we talk about being, we're still doing quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. So tomorrow I'm going to explore. I'm going to sit for a while. I'm going to bring my walking shoes. I'm going to walk gypsum like nobody has ever walked it before. I am going to know every street. I don't even know how big this town is, but I will know it.
And
But-
so this beautiful tour, we was it last week or the week before? I don't know. It's all a blur. I think it was 2 weeks ago now.
Mhm.
We started planning out a loose itinerary with some highlights, and we haven't gotten back to it. And so it's really unplanned. And had I had my wits about me more on a regular basis, I'd probably have more stops in there. I'd know where we're gonna be sleeping or parking the RV anyway, and where we're gonna be doing the, what do you call it? When you, there's certain places you park where you
flush things out and
Yes.
stuff, top up the fluids. So you have, I don't know the exact term, but you have some places where you will park and do all that good stuff, and other places where you're off in the woods called boondocking.
Oh, okay.
And so
Yeah.
it allows us to allow it to unfold. For instance,
It allows for much more road magic.
and I think we need that.
For running into the magical person who tells us to go to this magical trail or to meet this other magical person.
Which, if we were like, chop, chop, we've got to be in Yosemite by blah, 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 which means if we don't leave now
we
and we
have
don't.
an appointment with that moose.
Exactly. It's kind of exciting, isn't it? Not just the appointment with the moose. But this is where we all are right now. Somebody said, get a map, spin the bottle. Deborah, you're not actually far off. We all right now get to allow in, to surrender in, to say, but my logical mind says I need to do this, I need to do that. Maybe it's I need to get this job or do this and do this and do this. And it seems like it's just moving uphill against flow. It's because we have to let go. All systems are broken. All of the old way of doing things aren't working for ourselves. We're very, very lucky. But I'd be exceptionally surprised if we don't actually, after this tour, say, all right, let's get a full-size RV and live on the road for a while. I think I'd be surprised if we don't say that, which is actually really, really exciting because we can go within the US at the moment, relatively anywhere, wherever the magic calls us toward. And maybe that's been a missing element for all of us, is we have cut magic out of our lives.
We haven't made space for it.
It's interesting you say made space, because that is what Kyle Gray said this week about when baby will come into our lives, is when we make space. Those were his exact words. So this is a space making tour. How much space can we make, and how much can we not allow the old habits to chase us down? It will be really, I'll watch my words, it's potential that we could get uncomfortable with this much unknowing when we go on the road, and immediately try to grab a vacuum cleaner and suck out of the universe all of our old habits, put it in a canister, and go use them again. That's possible, right?
It's possible. It'll be a lot. Well, I would think that'd be difficult to do on the road, but
well, we had on earlier this year Charles Duhigg, and we were talking briefly about habits. and he has a book on habits.
Mhm.
And what we're talking about is if you want to quit smoking, go on vacation. Why?
Because in a different environment, you're not going to be bombarded by the same prompts to initiate the habit.
Exactly. And so when we go out of our current environment, all of those habits are easier to replace with something else. How you doing, Ruru?
Ruru, are you tired?
Can I angle down or no?
Sure.
There's Ruru.
Are you tired?
This is his favorite thing, is getting pet on his comb.
He doesn't want it now.
I think he's a little overtired, and
I think he's tired.
it's 3 minutes from bedtime for him. So we don't have to wrap things up yet. I mean, we could, but I could put his bed in the bedroom
Mm-hmm.
and put him to bed right now. If you have enough to talk about for the next 3 to 5 minutes, I'll actually move his bed with you and Rue here, and then come get Rue. You could even take questions.
Well,
We haven't
I
taken
think
any
it'd be
questions yet.
easier to take questions. I'm not really the type to just blah blah blah.
All right. Do you want to take questions, and I'm going to get Rue to
Okay,
bed?
I'll take questions.
All right. I'll be right back, everybody.
So, what do you want to know about Michael? Yes, that honk is real. He doesn't fake it.
He's chasing after me to go to bed. Give me a sec, Rue.
How can we help you and Michael and Jeff? Is there some way we can support you? That's a good question. And we have Patreon, and I was posting on a regular basis till the fire started, and we've been recording a lot. I just haven't gotten a chance to upload all the videos, but there's going to be a bunch of behind the scenes footage. Some of it's going to be edited into shows, but a lot of it, there's just way too much of it to all be edited into shows. So there's going to be like bloopers and fun stuff with Ruru and the kitties. Other ways of support, prayer, good vibes. I can't really think of anything else at the moment. But we'll let you guys know. Thanks, Jeannie. Kate asks, have you read W.B. Yeats' poetry and life story? I have not. I mean, I've read some poetry, but I have not read about the life story. AM, how can you manifest a new living situation? For me, I think the biggest piece of manifestation is feeling the emotion. So I'll visualize, but my visualization isn't going to be exact. It isn't going to be very detailed. It'll have some details that are very important to me, but I like to keep the minute details open for the universe to figure out, because my opinion is that the universe knows what's best for me better than what I know. So I'll set my attention and I'll always add or something better. But what I focus on the most is the feeling of being in that new living situation. So for me, the feeling might be spaciousness, rejuvenating, a place that gives me energy, that's peaceful, like a sanctuary. You know how you feel when you walk into a spa, or if you get body work done when you walk into their space. It has a very special quality to it, and so that's what I would want to feel when I'm walking into my new living situation. Any other questions? Kate says, Yeats wrote, "We all have a pilgrim soul." And I'm so glad you used that word pilgrim, because we do feel like this is a pilgrimage for ourselves. It's, for us, it's definitely going to be a healing journey. There's been, not to say that not everybody experiences trauma, but for us, it feels like there's been a lot of trauma in a short amount of time, a very compressed amount of time. And certainly, you know, what people are experiencing in California right now, a lot of people have lost their homes. I think there are more homeless people in this country now than, well, at least now than ever before during my lifetime. So we're definitely grateful for everything we have. But at the same time, we definitely feel like we get to heal a lot. And we're going to be sharing that journey in hopes that our healing journey might help others heal or be inspired to do whatever they feel called to do to help them heal. And I thought Ruru was going to go for bedtime, but apparently
we're going to bed. We're going to bed, everybody.
He likes to fly. He actually really loves this.
All right, we're heading to bed. Love you guys. Woo. Woo. Let's go to sleep.
All right,
Go to sleep.
so they're heading to bed, or Ruru's heading to bed anyway. Thank you, Diane, for keeping us in your prayers. Thank you, Ashraf. Yes, Kate. We are definitely calling in the rain. CSS, when do you leave on tour? We pick up the RV on September 13th, and it's actually 3 hours away. And when we get the RV back here, we're gonna load up the kitties and we're gonna hang out in the RV with the kitties for a day and a half or maybe 2 days. And the plan right now is to leave on September 15th. So Rod, I explained earlier that I'm wearing this mask because there's a fire that's about 8 miles away, and there's actually a lot of smoke in the air right now, and I happen to be pretty sensitive to smoke. So I've got a little personal HEPA air filter that's pumping clean air through this hose into the mask, and it helps me a lot. Deborah, Wanderlust was in you during your youthful days. You know, a couple of years ago, I was wondering if, so I used to travel a lot, and I was explaining this in the first live stream that froze up, and so we started this one. But I was starting to explain about how adventurous I used to be, and I was wondering, like, is that just for 20-year-olds or 20-somethings? Like, can we not have that experience? Because I remember feeling so carefree. You know, I didn't have much responsibility because, well, my parents were still young and I didn't have to worry about their health, and everybody else around me was healthy, and I didn't have a partner or a spouse. I didn't have any pets, so all I had to think about was myself. And I'm just talking about how I used to think that being carefree and having wanderlust was something that you could only do when you're young. Or I asked myself that, and I think you can do it at any age, you know. And yes, I still continue to have more responsibility now, but I think I think you can still live similarly, even in your 40s and 50s. I'm not in my 40s yet, but almost. um, Joanne asked, will you put things in storage or get rid of everything? We at this point we're not letting go of the house before tour. That'll probably happen a few weeks after we get back from tour. Just because it would be just super challenging given the current situation, and I think it'd just be too hard to do before tour. We don't have that much time. So if we do like this RV lifestyle and we want to do it full time, then we probably will put some things in storage, like photographs and other really precious sentimental stuff, but not a whole lot. Your thoughts?
We're getting a truck. In 2 weeks, we're getting a truck, and we're hiring help, and we're gonna get a lot of stuff donated, a lot of stuff given away, which is similar to donated, a lot of stuff thrown away. And we're gonna get super light before this tour. But I don't think neither of us is trying to go aesthetic or ascetic level of minimalism.
No, we're both pretty sentimental, and we do get attached to certain things. So for us, the process of getting lighter is a process. It's a gradual process, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very excited for this. I'm very excited for the getting light. You were mentioning be able to travel. That this is something you think you can only do as a kid. This comes back to the theme: if not now, then when? Why not now? Why not? Why not flip everything on its head and say, what are the things that we love to do that we're no longer doing, and how do we get back to them? I'm going to hop off camera because I'm about to sneeze.
Which pet is your favorite? That's a challenging question. I would say that I think all I can say is that Meowsers has been in my or our lives the longest out of all of our pets. So, and he's the most adult-like, if that makes sense. The other pets feel like children, whereas Meowsers, I feel like he looks out for me. Like he's my bodyguard, my spirit guard. When I used to feel like I was getting attacked by negative or mischievous entities, Meowsers was the one who would he would protect me. So I feel the most attachment with him.
I was wondering how you.
Edward asked who. Yeah, what would you say?
I can't choose. There's no way. Each of them has their own sacred characteristics to them.
Mm-hmm.
So Lumi helps me work on my energy.
Yeah.
And get me centered, and he's just unconditional love. And give me more love, and give me more love, and give me more love. Love Bug is the let's play, let's party.
Did it just rain, or did you spit on me?
I don't know. But I'm like right on the edge of sneeze again. I don't know why. I feel like universe is calling me to.
I felt the raindrop. Or your spit.
Or the hummingbirds.
Okay, let's see what else. What will you do with Rue? So Rue is he's coming with us.
Oh,
There's
heck
no
yeah.
doubt. Yeah.
There's
In
not
fact,
even.
you just bought what was it called? The collapsible.
I bought all the sorts of things for him.
Oh, chicken run. Is that what they're called?
I bought a collapsible chicken run so he can have safe space to run in after when he gets out of the RV. If we don't have litter training in order before we go, I have chicken. No kidding here. Diapers. Let's say that again. Chicken diapers. And I'm responsible there if we don't have him trained. So we will get him trained. I have a chicken carrier. So we're going to do all sorts of things with him.
I don't know if you guys are praying for rain or whatever, but it's definitely drizzling.
Is it? I'm not getting what you're getting. So either it's me spittling, which is not usual, or it's Hummers taking aim.
Oh, okay, yeah, I could be getting peed on by hummingbirds, that is.
So we have the buzzing and chirping sound that you hear is little hummingbirds all around us that maybe need diapers themselves.
Ashraf, we will read those prayers out loud afterwards. I did read them in my head, so thank you.
Thank you, Ashraf. Thank you.
Any other questions, or did you have anything? We were just doing questions because we were putting Ruru to sleep.
Well, there's a better way to put that.
Putting
to bed.
Sorry, to bed.
Are there any other well, no, and usually what we do is talk and then we answer some questions.
But had we finished talking? I could just continue buzzing your hair.
It's just I'm excited about this time. I'm excited about this time when I stay off of the news. If you get on the news for just 1 second, like I was looking at just wanted to get an idea of what's going on in California. And all of a sudden it becomes this political nightmarish mess of this person is doing this and this person's using it as an opportunity to this and that and the other thing. And all of a sudden your flame grows dim. It's like your light, you're afraid of everything and you go and turn that flame down. And so it's very important how we watch our energy and watch what we ingest and watch where we put our focus during this time, so that our energy stays up. Because it's one thing to say, yeah, I'm going to do it. And it's another attitude entirely to go, oh my God, this is awful. I don't know what I'm going to. And so there are two different approaches you can take. One is seeing how it can fill your tank, and the other is feeling completely depleted by the world around you. And so we have to watch for what's depleting us, what is emptying our tank, and what's filling it up. And even during this smoke-filled time, I think there are things that fill your tank versus empty it. What do you think?
You mean me personally?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to be really selective about how I spend my time because a lot of it, I'm napping a lot more, so there's less wakeful time to do things. So
anything that brings you joy right now?
Oh, definitely time with the kitties and well, Ruru, we're working things out.
I'm impressed. He's sleeping up here.
I know, he was sleeping up here and it was very endearing, but at the same time, like I was saying earlier, I'm like,
maybe we just need to have you wear a pair of glasses at the moment until you get comfortable.
So like I love his company, but we still make each other nervous. We're still getting to know each other.
It's only been a couple weeks. We don't know his story. We don't know his backstory.
But with the kitties, we can just like relax into mushdom together.
I like that. Relax into mushdom.
Let's see. The ego's relevance to the current process.
Oh yeah, that's a goodie. Rod, the ego is going to fight. It's going to fight, and it's going to fight. And that's why there's political upheaval. And that's why there's COVID. And that's why there's fires. And that's why there's hurricanes. And that's why there's economic challenges. And that's why there are jobs. And that's why, and that's why, and that's why, until the ego finally goes, all right, I get it. I can't drive this ship anymore. And so the ego will kick back out of trying to find safety and security. Ego doesn't care if it keeps us small. Ego doesn't care if it embarrasses us. Ego doesn't care if we're tremendously suffering. But ego is going to try to keep us in our comfort, even if that comfort is complete and total discomfort.
Melissa wants to know where you got this this air filter. It's called an Air Pro mask. And Michael, you got it on Amazon, right?
I got it on Amazon. I got a second one for myself if I need be, although more it's a backup for you if yours runs out. And it's a HEPA 3 air filter.
HEPA 3?
99.97%.
PM 2.5 by 99.9%. And the filter lasts 500 hours.
Cool.
Let's see. Carolyn Miss was pitched to us by Hay House, and so I believe we're in the works of getting her scheduled.
Wow, I didn't know this. It's on a need-to-know basis.
Carolyn has it's either a new book or a reprint.
And whenever you say that, I keep remembering I want to reach out to Anita Morjani on her new book.
Thanks, Brother John, for your comment. Because I definitely feel embarrassed by vulnerability.
It is hard to overstate how much Jessica is a rock star in this moment. We all come into this world with different gifts. And by gifts, I mean challenges. Mine, we've discussed it way too many times ad nauseum, is the gift of feeling like I've screwed everything up, which I don't really anymore. Although my ego will try to bring it up on occasion, but I don't go down that road. Jessica's gift was feeling like her voice was squashed. And, excuse me. It's the smoke. And being very inwardly drawn to where putting yourself out there, that combination of voice and putting yourself out there when you don't feel ready, used to be, up till about 45 minutes ago, incredibly traumatic for you.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing you on camera when you're not ready.
Yeah. Well, no, I just got confused by the 45 minutes ago.
Meaning you are doing something in this present moment that is so far above and beyond anything I've ever seen you do in this lifetime. I've only been with you 11 years, but this right here.
Got a mask on.
Because you've got a mask on. You've got a mask on. You weren't prepared. You weren't, dressed, coiffed, whatever it is. It's not like you were going to do your nails or something before.
I was showered.
But it is so far out of your comfort zone. I'm not trying to make you scared here of being on the edge of a diving board. I am so incredibly impressed.
Oh, thank you.
That's what I'm saying. So, and next time we are going to be on, I think, different equipment. Again, we are going to find this video frozen, numbers going down. So maybe this is when we wrap it up.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think this is a good ending point. All right. Well, we love you guys. Come join us at boot camp this Wednesday. See link in the description. And join us and come learn automatic writing from us. Turn your journaling into channeling. Automaticwriting.com. People are going back up. Can people see us again? Has the buffering ended? Has the buffering ended? And follow our tour. We got to record stuff like this, Patreon. This is good stuff.
Well,
Follow our tour and all things Ruru and behind the scenes at www.patreon.com/Inspire Nation. We're back. Is there anything else you want to share with people before we let people go?
What's been bothering me? I can't do it now.
Oh, yes, you can.
No, I can't. I don't think you. It's just supposed to go up. There we go. It's fixed.
I'm the king rooster now. All right. Love you guys so much. I'm going to go repack the car. I thought I had it packed well, but I'm going to go repack the car.
Seth Speaks?
So,
Who's Seth?
Seth Speaks is one of the very early books that used automatic writing.
Oh.
So, yes. Trust the process. Take the leap of faith. Couldn't agree more for everyone out there. All right. Love you guys so much. We'll see you Wednesday for boot camp. We'll see you for automatic writing. And I am just blown away by you this evening. I'm blown away. I'm blown away. I'm blown away. Not to put you on the spot, but I did.
Okay.
I love you.
Okay.
Love you guys. Keep on shining bright. Woohoo! Great job, Pookie.